Greetings, people. Briefly, I want to speak on a young man, Messiah, who is here no longer. His name is Messiah, Messiah. His last name is Nantwi. Messiah suffered from mental illness from his 2021 encounter in the Bronx with policemen. He was shot 27 times. 27 times. He was 17 at the time, and he spent 6 months in the hospital. He became angry, paranoid, and began talking to himself. He became suspicious. Well, you know they don't leave you alone because he survived 27 of their bullets. Well, in April 23, he was arrested allegedly for something, and I won't speak on what it was about. It's not important. But anyway, he accepted a plea and was serving a 5-year sentence in a New York Central prison up north, where they have these prisons, and the racial population is basically Caucasian American. So you know who was working in there, right? In these prisons with basically all black people and brown. Basically all black people, okay? Anyway, he withdrew the plea and accepted a 5-year term. So he's around them, okay? He already been shot 27 times and has suffered mental post-traumatic stress, everything from surviving that. And now he's in the belly of the beast again with them. So he's in the shower crying his heart out. They heard him crying that morning in the shower. And he had been off his medication. They didn't have his regular medication. And what they were trying to give him, he didn't trust. He didn't want to take it. So he was having an episode. Anyway, he missed the drill call to stand outside your cell for a count. Okay? And at this time, the National Guards were taking the regular guards' place because they were victims, pretending to be victims, and were on strike because of the execution of Robert Brooks. They didn't feel like they should be punished for that. Okay? Anyway, the guard came to the shower and saw him in there having an episode and didn't have any compassion, nothing, okay? And marched him back to his cell and called for an alert. And they came running. The cellmate said he heard them in the snow. It was snow at this time, running in the snow. And he had his hands up and said, I didn't do anything. Well, they supposed to have their cameras on, right? After Robert Brooks' annihilation, they supposed to have their cameras on, and only one had their camera on, and that was the guard that initiated all of this, and he was guarding the door and had his back turned while they beat Messiah to death again. So they heard about Robert Brooks. Do you understand what's happening here? They know what happened with Robert Brooks and what is going on with the charade with them going home and not being charged, even though they put it on camera and released it real quick. Do you understand? Why did they do that? They were trying to initiate a race riot. They were. They put that on camera for us to see, just like they did George Floyd. They were trying to initiate something, and they looked like they were doing it with orders, don't it? Derek Chauvin looked like he was doing it with orders, just as they. But anyway, they commenced to beating him to death. And with the cellmate there, they don't even care who's watching. Okay? They didn't have any cameras on, but he's right there, a witness. which puts him in danger. He said that he heard a splat like a wet rag when they slammed him to the floor, the concrete floor. You know they don't have carpet or linoleum, nothing there. And pinned him up against the wall, blood everywhere. And then after they annihilated him, they made the cellmate clean it up, sanitize a crime scene. And after that, they stopped his phone calls, the cellmate, because they didn't want him talking to nobody. But 9 of the cell enslaved mates heard what was going on. And they reported it, what they heard, to the New York, New York Focus paper. He wasn't fighting back. He wasn't fighting back. Okay. Well, these guards tracked down the cellmate and placed him on leave. He couldn't have any phone calls, and they didn't want him talking to nobody. But the cellmate said he started singing like a bird to this New York Frost, because he said, I'm doing this for my friend. And his life is in danger, because I'm going to end with this. Remember Botham John, who was slain by Amber Guyton, who said she thought she was at her apartment, and the black folks put on a performance in the courtroom, from the guard to the judge to the brother, forgiving and loving her for what she did to her brother. Well, the friend is in danger because Botham John, neighbor across the hall, also was a friend. And he testified with tears in his eyes on the stand what happened. And they found a way, the authorities down there, to pin a drug charge on him. And he was executed because he spoke up for his friend, Botham John, who was sitting on the couch eating ice cream, innocent. So this cellmate is speaking up for his friend and telling exactly what happened. And they don't care. It's like they had orders, okay? Because this happened right after Robert Brooks. They telling us we're doing this on purpose. This is no accident. This is nothing of a sort. We are programmed and orchestrated to do this. I'm going to end. But solace, sympathy, empathy to those who love and going to miss Messiah. He will forever live in their heart. 23 years old. He was a baby. A baby. He survived 27 shots of their bullets. And you know, they bullets don't play. How he survived 27 shots? 17 years old. And he lost it. Became paranoid. Afraid. Talking to himself. Scared of them. You survived 27 of their resisting. That's what they call don't resist. Don't resist going to your grave. And he resisted 27 times. He defiled them. Got to go. Peace, if you can find it.